right, everybody. Huge Kraken win. It's great to be back in the win column. Night of a lot of great stuff to talk about. First hat trick in Kraken history. First hat trick. For not for Eberle. It's his fourth of his career. That was great to see. He's on a total tear right now through the last 5 games. Once he got that monkey off his back, he has just been going. Like to see that empty netter for Schwartz. Maybe that gets him going a little bit. Who knows? You never know. But that was just a phenomenal game. Kraken once again, dominating possession, dominating shots on goal. This time we're getting the bounces. Things worked out for us. Got back in the win column. Really, great to see. Notice that, right off the bat in chat, what do they do with all the hats from the hat trick? It depends. Every arena is different. They all have their own policies. I don't know what Climate Pledge Arena's policy is as far as the hat trick hats go. Usually, player gets first dibs. So if the play, it's like your first hat trick or something, maybe you want all of them, or maybe you want like to just kind of sift through and see if there's one to keep as a keepsake from it, one that seems special to you or something like that. And then in a lot of cases, fans are allowed to go and retrieve them after the game or the day after the game. So that's a reason, I guess, to write your name in your hat, maybe if you are there and you want to toss it. Like I said, don't know Climate Pledge Arena's policy for hat trick hats, but that's generally what happens around the league. Pretty cool. But yeah, that was just it was such a good game. Buffalo's back to being Buffalo. It's good for us tonight. But yeah, it was a really good game, really entertaining game. That offense, man, just getting it going. Finally, seems like last couple games, it's the opportunities have been there. Puck's just not going in tonight. Puck was definitely going in, especially for number 7. So that was awesome. Sergeant Pickles there. Eberle better get that player of the game pirate hat though. Yeah, I gotta think that Eberle's getting all that stuff in the locker room. Good entertaining game from Brian for sure. Alex, so many firsts to talk about. First Hattie, first goalie assist, probably biggest goal differential in a game for the expected goals. I don't have the advanced stat stuff in front of me, so can't comment on that. Obviously, already been talking about the hat trick for Eberle. That's an awesome first to see. Happy that it was for him, starting that season off on a slump. Got it going, obviously, these last 5 games or so, and to see that moving him to be the first one in Kraken history to have the hat trick, I think that's very appropriate. Did bring it up, first goalie assist, Grubauer, he's on the board, so that's always fun to see, especially, we've talked about it on this channel several times now about how he likes to, direct traffic, how he helps out his defensemen, telling them what's going on, all that stuff. It's good to see him get on the board a little bit and get rewarded maybe for some of that effort. All right, let's see. Eberle had so many chances in this game. Yeah, he played a really good game. He was out there to do this. Like you could just see it in his eyes. He wanted this one bad, and he got it. He was tired of the losing streak. I think a lot of the players were. Tanev was his normal self out there doing a lot, but I think it was a good effort from everybody. Braun, thank you so much for the super chat there. Good W between the last 3 games. Finishing has started to concern me. How many breakaways, one-on-one shots did we not finish? Regardless, good game. Yes, there were several. I think there was, 3 shorthanded breakaway opportunities in this one for the Kraken. I think 2 for Tanev and 1 for Yanni Gourde. Obviously, you want to see those finish. I do think on the 2 Tanev ones, the way he was going, the way his momentum was going, him trying to puck handle, the puck was kind of bouncing on him. Certainly on, I think it was the first or the second one? One of them, the puck was really moving around on him, so I could see that. Yanni just, missed it, but they're at least still good chances, gets the defense on their heels. It concerns the other team. The goalie's in, panic mode, we'll call it. Obviously, it's their job to be in that position, but the adrenaline gets going, your heart, stops for a second. Those situations, more opportunity you can do that to the opposing team, the better. So yeah, finishing, it's been a problem. That being said, scored 4 tonight. Everlay's at least not having a problem anymore, and I think some of the rest of the team is going to follow suit. Good to have you back, by the way, Bron. Missed you the last couple games. Hope you were the one that went on Halloween, I'm pretty sure. So hope you enjoyed that game. Let's see. Hear from Hunter back up here. They need to work on their breakaway finishing. Otherwise, great game. Yeah, there's always something. Obviously, this is still, need to work on the power play a little bit, especially the finishing there. But yeah, it's just good to have a win. It's good to see goals go in. You miss it. From Aaron, great response after the 2-1 goal. Eberle totally stepping up. That was huge. I really think if you end that period down 2-1, this game is completely different. The Kraken have shown all season long that they're very, very resilient. They have no problems, working back from deficits. They don't give up, really, right? They have a lot of fight in them, but it is hard when you're, in that situation. You've been doing really well again, right? You've been dominating that whole period. You let through that goal. It's late in the period, all that stuff. You've, haven't exactly taken advantage of all those power plays you were getting. So that was huge to kind of, I don't want to say stop the bleeding, because it wasn't like, Buffalo was going to go out there and score a bunch, I don't think. But just to stop the momentum, swing it back in your direction, get things going. Yeah, that's kind of what I was referring to earlier. Eberle wanted this one tonight. He wanted the win. He wanted the goals. He wanted everything. And I think he really led the Kraken on the ice tonight. Really good game for him. Cody, good game for the boys. Kind of sick of Gruby letting in easy pucks. Yeah, okay, so that Thompson one from a ways out, it was rough. Really good placement. I don't know how much Thompson could actually see the net, but with Fleury between him, so I don't know how much of that was just luck. But yeah, I think that one was just placement. Might have been hard for Grubauer to see the release off of Thompson's stick with Fleury in the way and Fleury's stick in the way. I'm not trying to make excuses or anything. Obviously, it's rough whenever you let a wrister in from, a ways out like that. But that could just be an explanation for it. On that one, I kind of had an issue with the way Fleury was defending it. Fleury's he's like 6'2" to 6'4", somewhere in there, right? And so he's a big guy. He's got reach. His stick is long, and he's bent way over, reaching way out with his stick to poke check, and yet he's still not there. He was so kind of passive about that goal. He was back so far, which, look, I would get if it was an odd man rush for Buffalo, but you had your defensive partner to your side, and you had two Kraken on the two Sabres right there. That's the opportunity to be a little aggressive. It's 4-on-2 in favor of the Kraken. Step up and really try to, I guess just don't let him get a shot off in that situation, or at least don't make it an easy one, where he can kind of pick his spot around Grubauer like that. So would have liked to see that. Not saying he had to be super aggressive at the blue line where, you risk them getting around you completely or something, but that was something I noticed on that one. This is from Alex. That Wenberg assist on Eberle's goal was a great play. Going back to the blue line to pull the defenders up was smart and caused defensive confusion. Yeah, no, Wenberg is him and Donskoy, and to some extent Gord, but I really feel like with Wenberg and Donskoy, their passing is so elite. The way they think the game is so interesting and elite. They really know what they're doing out there, and they do, as you said, they know how to manipulate defenses. They know how to set stuff up. It wasn't technically a power play goal, but that Morgan Geeky goal at the beginning, because the power play had just expired, so still in that slump, unfortunately. On that one, that was Wenberg doing a cross ice pass east-west in a way we haven't seen them do on the power play in a really, really long time, right? And I think that was just him doing that. We're so used to seeing them cycle it back to the point, and then it'll go over to Geeky, right? they just never send those east-west passes, and that's been disappointing for us for a long time now. Um, but yeah, I thought Wenberg played a really, really good game. His passing is awesome. Him and Donskoy, the way they can do stuff, it's pretty great. Sergeant Pickles, how you doing? If they were league average on power play and breakaway finishing, this team could crush people. I love seeing them stay solid on the PK. Yeah, PK's been phenomenal, start to finish for this year. It's been absolutely awesome. Breakaway finishing, it's hard. I will say that it's just a hard thing to do. Elite players make it look easy, but it's difficult. Power play, we've talked about numerous times. Yes, if the power play was, it doesn't even have to be average. If we were just below average instead of horrible, I think a lot of games would be different for this team. But they did, as we were kind of thinking they would. They did work on that on their days off. They worked on that yesterday in practice a lot. When RJ hops on in a little bit, we can ask him about that, what he saw during that practice and if it translated to this game. Obviously, some different stuff. Geeky being over there. Again, that goal technically wasn't a power play goal, but, for all intents and purposes, it was. And that did change some things up. Not sure how that hat trick goal got under Tokarski's pad, but I will take it. Yeah, Aaron, it's I just think the way he faked the slapper like that, it kind of it just froze him a little bit, so he was not quite fully down in butterfly, and there was just enough room for that an inch and a half, 2 inches of rubber to slide right under there. Brian, need to practice more. Their power play seems like they slow their game a lot for the perfect play. Yes, they do. Big problem. Need to be moving around a little more. I will say tonight, it seemed like the focus was a lot on getting Donskoy the puck in the bumper position, which is the position kind of in the center. So, again, Kraken run a 1-3-1 power play. This is called the bumper position, the one in the middle there. Donskoy was playing there a lot tonight. It seemed like every time they were trying to get him to be the trigger man, they wanted him to make the shots, but a lot of times he had like 2 to 3 defenders on him, and I was like, maybe get it over to the guys playing the half boards. Let them take the shot, which they ultimately did. That geeky goal, I'm going to call it a power play goal, even though it wasn't, but yeah. Aaron, what did they have? 3 shorthanded breakaways? I counted 3. It was a lot for one game. It speaks a lot about how good their penalty kill is. All right, Stratic. They got a pseudo power play goal on a cross seam pass and then proceeded to try to force everything through the PKers. And then it failed miserably, but I'll worry about that tomorrow because Jordan Everley. Exactly. We'll see how the power play continues to go. Wenberg was able to get that pass through. Not as lucky for everybody else, but still, it was just nice to see something different. Feel like they are trying, right? They are aware of the problem and working on fixing it. Because for a little while there, it didn't even seem like that. Nathan getting it going, except on the power play for sure. Could have had 8 or 9 tonight. Yeah, I mean, they could have really blown the roof off the barn on this one, but a win is a win is a win, and I will take it after those last couple games. Sergeant Pickles, I have no idea how they keep running into killer goalies. Thankfully, the relentless pressure eventually broke through. It did this time. I would like to see them not have to constantly kind of face backup goalies for this to work. Like to just see them beat starters, but again, it's a win. We're back in the win column. Get Arizona on Saturday. That should be another good one to look forward to. This is from Jared. Giordano seemed to have a better game too, and I noticed a couple quicker shots. That is true, and I'd have to see the exact ice time, but I do think he was on the second unit power play, which was, again, one of those things that was a little nicer to see. And if you'll notice, right, what the goal, the pseudo power play goal that Geeky scored, right, he wasn't like totally loaded up for the slap shot. There was a couple other times where he was, and like the defense and the goalie totally knew what was going on. Like anytime you're like kind of waving your stick in the air, like, look, I'm ready for the one timer, the other team sees that too. So, but on the one that he scored, he just launched the one timer off the pass. A little bit of a snapshot there. So, happy to see Giordano's not doing that anymore. Yeah, it was good, and I liked Dunn on the first unit power play. A couple miscommunications, pucks got out of the zone, but I think the changes to the personnel made were the right ones. Let's just see if we can get some more movement in there. Aaron from Australia. Hayden played well tonight. Tanev, I've really underestimated him as a complete player. Yeah, well, yes, Tanev has been playing phenomenal all season long. Love his effort, love everything that he does. Hayden did play pretty well tonight. Like I said, I had issues on that one goal. Wanted him to, kind of step up, use the stick a little bit more, use his reach, take advantage of the fact that the Kraken had numbers. But otherwise, I did think he had some solid defensive plays for the most part. Was out there for that Okposo power play goal. Him and Lauzon just kind of let, I think it was, who was it? But they let the guy just screen Grubauer completely all by himself. Generally want to see that guy cleared out a little bit. But I do like when Hayden's in the lineup. I do think he brings a little something, especially when he joins those rushes in the offensive zone. All right, this is from Brian. Shout out to Schwartz getting 3 assists for the 6th time in his career. That is impressive. Did I miss that on the Root broadcast, Brian, or are you just that good with knowing that information? Either way, that is impressive, and got that empty netter later on too. Striatic, Jordan Eberle off-speed shot on third goal was cheeky, so I'll get up. It was a really nice play. That's a goal scorer play. That's somebody who understands the way goalies think and react. That was fun to see. Despite the offer on the power play, puck movement and shot chances looked better. Plus, Gio ditched that Acme cartoon wind up for a quick wrister from Sergeant Pickles. Yep, we just talked about that exactly. Happy to see that. It is progress. We will always take progress as long as things keep moving in the right direction. Striatic finally beat up a goalie who was really playing well. Game-breaking performances are something every team needs. They are, and we talked, kind of before the season started on this team where you don't necessarily have that generational talent or whatever. You need guys to just kind of, step up every night. If one guy steps up every night, the Kraken will always be in games and they're going to win a lot of games. Eberle clearly stepped up tonight. He took over this game. He wanted this game more than anybody out there, and obviously everybody wants it. But yes, that was kind of the definition of game breaking, his performance tonight. Aaron, and I know some other people have earlier up in chat too, telling everybody to hit the like button. Appreciate the help with that, everybody. Nathan, would love to get Donskoy and Yarncroke on the scoring sheet. Some good chances tonight. Donskoy especially, like I feel like he's been working so hard for it. He's been doing so much, and it's just been really unlucky for him. But both those guys, they work so hard. They've been awesome. I think it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. But the work they do, not just on, even strength power play, but also penalty killing is really awesome. I'm going to shoot down here to Brian. Thank you very much for the super chat. Not every castle in life needs to be stormed. Little dude who took on Donskoy learned that lesson tonight. Love the big rig. Yeah, we've talked about it before. Maybe not the smartest decision to pick a fight with somebody like Jamie Alexiak. Certainly if you're not also 6'7" and 250 probably. Yeah, I mean, it was... He did what he had to do. He defended his honor, and thankfully the refs called it right, and they gave him that extra 2 minutes for doing what he did, because I don't think Alexiak was really in the mood, but Alexiak showed him what he can do, and it was fun. Eberle on fire tonight for sure. RJ here in chat saying hi to everybody. Press stuff's moving a little slow so far tonight. Jordan Eberle is a popular guy. I can imagine. So we'll get RJ when we get him. Brian, you guys did a good analysis when the players were drafted. Are you going to do a mid-season and end of season one? I do imagine we will. We might even do kind of like a quarter of the way through once we hit there. Yeah, I do think we gotta, we will do some of that stuff. We were just waiting for the sample size to get a little bit bigger. You know what I mean? Sergeant Pickles, can we take a minute to appreciate Big Rig absolutely wrecking that fool for sure? We just did, but yes, it was awesome. Um, Orion, the Sabres D-man falling after the empty net goal was incredible. I must have missed that. I was kind of, getting my setup all ready for all this when the empty netter was scored. Um, but so I'll have to look for that later. Alexiak is my third star. Yeah, he played a good game, and again, he had a couple opportunities offensively. Steps up into the zone. Really like that from him. It's a lot of. He's just a fun guy to watch. Also, did everyone see Darlene whiff and eat it after the empty net? Okay, so keep an eye for that. The next weird NHL YouTube video. Oh, I'm gonna really have to look this one up now. I'm sorry I missed that. So many positives for the Kraken, except face-offs again. That from Sean. I don't know. I thought they seemed to be doing okay. I didn't notice any times where it was glaringly, bad like we've seen from some games in the past. Yeah, though I guess 41% is not what you want to be doing on the dot, but uh, you know, it's okay because they won. But yeah, I mean, generally they're better than that. They did slow mo on it as well on the Darlene thing. Gonna really have to look this up. That blindside hit on Geeky, was that clean or should have been a penalty? That's from Clowney. So I don't know. I understand why the refs didn't call it because it was kind of clean. You can't really call it interference because he had already kind of made contact with the puck, it looked like, with his hand. So I could see not calling it interference. That being said, it's just a bad look because Geeky in that situation is a defenseless player, we'll call it, as far as the like borrowing that terminology from the NFL. He is not in a position. I mean, he was in the air. I think I don't even think his feet were on the ground. He's not in a position to protect himself. He's certainly not expecting to be just kind of driven into the ground like that. That being said, the hit itself was clean. The way he checked him with kind of his shoulder and elbow, that was clean. Like to see a penalty on it just because you want players to be protected. But I do understand if maybe the refs didn't necessarily know what to call on it or want to do it. The refs in this one, I did notice them a lot. They were very much okay with a lot of physicality. They were really only calling the penalties that are kind of non-subjective in this one. So, the Kraken got away with some stuff. Nothing as egregious as that. But they were at least a little consistent there. But yes, I want it to be a penalty. I don't know exactly what the penalty would be, but I want it to be a penalty because I don't think players should be put in positions where they can get seriously injured like that. Nathan asking if there's anything new in the arena, RJ. Save that. We'll ask him when he joins us a little later on. Dylan, the players have played hard all season. The record doesn't reflect where the team will finish the season. Gord, since coming back, has brought another level of attack. Yeah, Gord has brought a whole new energy to this team, a whole new life to this team. Obviously that smile, the way he interacts with opponents, gets under their skin, is just awesome to see, and it's been really fantastic. The players have played exceptionally hard all season long. I do think they've deserved some of the games that maybe have gotten away from them, but I do think that that's one of those things that if Hackstall and if the team leaders, Giordano, Adam Larson, Eberle Schwartz, right, all those guys, as long as they keep, everybody giving that level of effort, the wins will come. Things will even itself out over the course of a season. So we just got to, get there and be patient with it. Wenberg has been sneakily good on the forecheck and set up passing in traffic. Wouldn't be surprised if he leads the team in assists on the year. 100%. I think he's been doing a lot of really good stuff. Unfortunate that he hasn't totally been, in the goals column yet, but again, that's going to come from him. And his two-way play isn't that bad either. He's pretty good in the defensive zone too. Face off numbers are improving, uh, or it seems, not seeing tonight's numbers. That's from Aaron. Yeah, we just kind of talked about that. I didn't notice any them being exceptionally bad, but the numbers weren't great. This is from RJ. Jordan Eberle calls scoring the first hat trick in Kraken history, quote, an honor and pretty special. Not gonna lie, when it went in, I definitely thought about it. So Eberle does seem to know what that hat trick meant, not just for the team and winning this game, but also what it means to do something like that with an expansion team. I got to think that would be a little bit maybe overwhelming feeling, right? To know that you're always going to be that answer to a trivia question. Isn't that all we all want in life, right? To be an answer to a trivia question, hopefully in a good way. Um, Nice to break out the whiteboard. Yeah, I got the new whiteboard. Use it maybe a little bit later. It's on one side, it's got a full rink, so we can do some fun stuff with that. And then on the other side, it's just kind of like the offensive or defensive zone, so we can work on some stuff like that maybe a little bit later. Uh, Rip to your artfully drawn circles. Yeah, but I think this new one's going to serve us really well. Like the fact that it's two-sided like that. Kudos on the new whiteboard. Thank you, everybody. Whiteboard, hell yeah, I know you're busy, Dylan, but would love to see a short weekly whiteboard video breaking down some good plays. So that's from Sergeant Pickles. So one of the things I am planning on doing is something like that, not just for the Kraken, but also just kind of around the league, because I've really enjoyed doing it. It seems like all of you guys have enjoyed doing it based on the response there, just to seeing the new whiteboard. So yes, news on that soon. I fly up to Seattle next Tuesday, so I don't know that I'm going to be packing it and bringing it with me up there and everything, because I will at least hopefully be going to those games with the press credential. Expect news on that later this month, as far as when I would really start making that content. But know that stuff is in the works, and I am very excited about that, and I'm glad that it seems everybody else is too. Nathan's got to hop off. Thanks again for the coverage. Always fun seeing everybody in chat as well. Go Kraken. See you, Nathan. Thanks for stopping by. Tyler McCann back Saturday. All depends on if he can start testing negative, whether or not he's showing symptoms, all that stuff. Would love to have him back. I think he's missed on the power play, just the fact that he'll shoot from a couple different spots. I think that they've really missed that on the power play so far since he's been gone, but he needs to have 2 negative tests 24 hours apart. Whenever that starts happening is when he can come back. Saturday is a chance to really build momentum. That's from Alex. Yeah, it is. You never want to say like to go all in and be like, oh yeah, it's just Arizona, we got that win for sure. But Arizona isn't a great team. As long as the Kraken aren't sleeping on them completely when they go in there, I think they've got a good shot of winning, getting another win streak going. I think that's going to be important. Maybe see Drieger, get him going a little bit. That might be a nice one. Again, never want to call any game soft in the NHL, just because that's when they'll get you, right? There is some parity, but I still think that would be a lot of fun. Braun, by the way, Ghost costume at the Halloween game was a success. Thanks for remembering. I've missed you all the last few games too. Yes, we've missed you too. No worries. Glad that the Ghost costume was a success. We were looking for you on the broadcast. If you were on there, I missed you. Sorry, but glad you had fun. All right, Joshua. Very winnable slate of games coming up. Would be nice to put together a string of wins. I agree. We'll see. That game in Vegas is going to be tough, though. But Vegas hasn't exactly been playing too great so far this season. Darlene with the Swedish defenseman version of the Patrick Stefan. Oh my gosh. How did I miss this? I'm so mad now. I'm going to have to look that one up. Hunter, Adam Larson is underrated. Not if you're me. Yeah, no, I've been loving what Larson's been doing all year. I do think he's heavily underrated. Really, really solid two-way game. I like when he takes his shot from the point. It's a nice, low, heavy shot. It's good for creating rebounds. I think that's probably the most underrated part of his already underrated game. Shooting down to Brian again with the super chat. Thank you. When Winberg made that seam pass to Geeky, I darn near spilled my beer. We've been begging for it. When Geeky shot and scored, I did spill my beer. Well, hopefully it didn't spill on anything too important. But yes, it was definitely like a surprise moment for all of us, and really, really happy that it happened like that. And thanks again, Brian. And then right underneath that, Sergeant Pickles, thank you for the super chat. For Dylan's in-flight drink fund, still cheaper than VPA. RJ, if you don't give him the press pass, then you and I are going gloves off, tarps off. All right. Well, that if that doesn't get him to do it, I don't know what else will. Thank you, Sergeant Pickles, for that. I will enjoy it. Let's see. Where was I? Up here. Tyler Gruby nabs a point with the assist on the Schwartz empty netter. Yep, excited to see that. I think it's good. Brian telling me that Allison of the Seattle Kraken tweeted that stat on Schwartz earlier. Okay. What does RJ stand for? I'll let him answer that. Jordan Eberle has beautiful eyes, and I think he used them to hypnotize Tarski on Eb's third goal. That would be a potential reason why that one slid in under the pads. That would be very impressive and a very underrated part of his game, I do believe. That is a good one, Striatic. Love how Eberle showed up after getting slandered for his lack of productivity. Another old guy. Gio looked good again. He's not on the stat sheet, but so solid when on the puck and under pressure. Sorry, I had trouble reading that. Yeah, Eberle showed up. It's been good to see him get back to his old ways, scoring and everything. It's been a lot of fun. The team needed it, especially on a night like tonight, right? He won this game for the Kraken, and Gio. I think this was Gio's best game in a while. I think. Sergeant Pickles didn't notice Lazon much, but that's probably a good thing. I feel like Larson picks up his slack. Still waiting to see Soucy and Fleury in without him. We'll see when that ever happens. Yeah, it's something. I still want to see Will Borgen, like that poor guy. Just give him a game, throw him a bone. But Hextall did speak about that the other day. Just basically said that he was beat out by everybody else in camp. So. I don't know how bad he was in camp, if he was, and if he's kind of still struggling now in practice. I don't know. Stratic, come on, you can't deny Ebbs has pretty eyes. It's just true. But I digress. No, I definitely don't deny it. It is true. Not Kraken related, but what are your thoughts on the Eichel trade? I'll just touch on this briefly. I know RJ's got some thoughts on it too, and we will cover it on the podcast that comes out on Monday. My thoughts are, maybe a light return, given who he is, what he can bring to Vegas. But I do understand maybe not getting what you would normally get given his injury status, the cap hit coming back on your team, all that. I do understand why some people think it was light. But I can also see some people thinking it's fair, especially from Buffalo's perspective. Tuck's amazing player. He did a lot for Vegas. I think Vegas is going to miss him more than they think. Krebs, I'm maybe a little more sour on him than most people. He has excellent vision, though, and his playmaking is outstanding. I think he will do well on this Buffalo team that has some good wingers like Jeff Skinner, potentially playing with him in the future. I just kind of have questions about maybe his size and strength. That being said, young guy, plenty of time for that to develop for him. Interesting that they got that first-round pick from Vegas, top 10 protected, though. I don't think Vegas is going to finish that low per se, but I'm just surprised to see that at all, really. Let's see. A lot to give up for Eichel, even when he hasn't had his surgery yet. Yeah, but when healthy, he's worth probably more than that, so I think it probably evens out. RJ, Jaden Schwartz says no beer shower for Eberle, but they probably should have done that. So that's the news there. We were thinking he was going to get a lot in that locker room, right? This is from Al. The story on Eberle when he was in Edmonton was that he loved his weed. Cannot confirm or deny. No comment from me on that one. Striatic, just theory, but I think the Kraken learned a lesson from the Oilers about the power of a speedy offensive zone puck movement. Some glimmers of what the Oilers did to the Kraken and what the Kraken were trying. Yeah, I mean it's still wild to me that they can do all of that on 5-on-5. They can have so much movement, so much speed, so many interesting passes, creative choices, and yet then come the power play, it's just well, apparently now it's just send it Geeky's way. But yeah, I do think that they learned a little from watching Draisaitl the other night. RJ still waiting on Hacksaw. Sorry guys, looking forward to hopping on. Lots to talk about for sure. Braun, hashtag whiteboard gang. Hell yeah. Baby, love the whiteboard and love to hear you go into games. Awesome. Thanks for the excitement, Braun. Aaron bringing up Drieger for Arizona, but saying he thought of that just when I hit send. Coming down, Brian. Thank again, third time tonight, going for your own hat trick, I guess, with the super chats. You sound like you're feeling better, Dylan. Happy for it. Now can we see your puppy? How about our overall shot production? We are ramping up. Yeah, puppy's not in the room with me. Sorry, guys. She's downstairs with everybody else right now. I will have her next time. Also got her a Kraken jersey, so get her going for that. I will definitely make sure to have her on Saturday in the jersey for everybody. That'll be awesome. I am feeling better. Thank you for thinking about me. Overall shot production, ramp it up. Yeah, I mean, we've been pretty dominant with that the last couple games anyway. It's This team is just really, really good at generating shots, dominating 5-on-5 play, having really good offensive zone time, all of that stuff. They've just been unlucky, you know. As long if they start finishing consistently, kind of like tonight, or at least one guy a night steps up the way Eberle did, I think we're gonna see it all come together. All right. This is from Al. Fast puck movement on the power play. Never let the D or goalie get ready. Oilers have it down to an art form. They do. It obviously helps when you have guys like McDavid and Draisaitl on that team. But that's what it's all about. You either have to have really, really fast puck movement like the Oilers do, or you need to have the players moving, right, to kind of create confusion, cause defenders to have to be trading off assignments, because whenever that happens you always at some point get someone who blows their coverage. So you guys all know I've been pushing for them to just move the players around a little bit more, get them going a little bit. I want to see that. But yes, if they're gonna pass the way they were tonight, if they're gonna try some more cross ice passes east west style like that, instead of just having everything run through the point every time, I think some things can start happening. Not taking Arizona lightly, but would be a good chance to get Dregs in there. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit earlier. Alex, was that Alexiak with a net drive I saw? We spoke it into existence. Yeah, he's done it a couple times this year. He started doing that in Dallas a little bit. That's gotta be scary, right? Like, it's gotta be scary to just see that man just start driving. If you're a goalie, you don't necessarily want to be seeing that, especially if you think there's a chance for any sort of contact there. But if you're a defenseman, what are you even thinking? Like, how do you approach going after him? He's got the reach to keep the puck away from you. You can't try to poke check it away from the guy. You probably can't outmuscle him either once he's, really in there with his momentum going and stuff. That one's just, I'm just happy I don't have to deal with that problem. And then Sergeant Pickles responded to that. I was hoping the goalie would dive out of the way in fear. Yeah, I mean, I would. I'll be honest with that one. I would for sure. Is it a Donskoy jersey for the puppy? It is not. It's just a generic Kraken dog jersey. But I think we could probably do some, some of that old-fashioned duct tape with the Sharpie and make it a Dogskoy jersey. And Kraken fan here, just jumping on the Brian Super Chat bandwagon. Thanks for the great work, guys. No worries, Kraken fan. Thank you for the Super Chat. Definitely appreciate that. Sergeant Pickles, was it just the rest days or better organization on the forecheck? I don't remember seeing odd man breakaways except for the turnover in our own zone. Um, I think I think we were seeing glimpses of this all happening, earlier in the season. It was just like tonight was one of those nights where it was like the stars aligned for everything that the Kraken wanted to really be doing in that way. Kind of like in the Montreal game, they had different things that they were trying in that Montreal game, but it was one where it was it was a good game for them to go out there and kind of assert what system they wanted to and really run with it. Yeah, I think the rest days helped. I think the two losses like that, those two brutal losses, it was clear after that Edmonton game that, you know, Hackstall was upset. The team seemed a little upset. I think everybody got that they needed to make some changes there, and they needed to step it up a little bit. And unfortunately for Buffalo, they had to be the sacrificial lamb in that. And then this is from Al, not getting the Eichel hype. He is a point a game guy, 1 goal every 3 games career. Pace, plus minus horrible. He is good, not great. Now he has a wonky neck. Yeah, the injury thing is going to be big question mark moving forward. He does a lot of stuff. He's a really, really good two-way player. Like, he's got that aspect to it. And I will come back to this question. We have RJ ready, so I'm going to head over here and get things going with him. So we'll be right back in just a sec with RJ. All right, so got RJ with me. We were just talking about Eichel a little bit there, RJ. Do you want to give like a quick thought? I know we're going to talk about a lot more on the podcast, I'm sure, for Monday. But do you want to give quick notes about that?
Yeah, quick notes. It was interesting having all the Buffalo media, everyone on the Sabres here today. Certainly, got a sense of something going on today. As for, the details of the trade, I think it's going to be a great trade for Vegas. I think Buffalo probably should have gotten more throughout the whole process. This is a type of player that only hits the market once in a decade, at most. And the return looked like something that's kind of pretty average for, just a regular star player. And I think this was an exceptional situation. So good on Vegas getting him that cheaply.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Well, first off, RJ, why don't you just give us your thoughts on this game? Because it was pretty awesome.
Yes, it was. Yeah, I thought the Kraken played well. It looked a lot like the previous games, except finally they got the puck to go in for them. And that's one of the things that Hackstall talked about is, he said he felt that this game looked and felt like a lot of the other games. It's just the difference was the puck was going in, which is something that he's kind of maintained for a while, that if we just keep playing this way, things are going to go in for us. We're going to start getting the puck luck. We're going to have success. And that's what happened tonight. It helps when you have a guy who steps up like Everly did. We talked about on last post game about just needing certain guys to step up every night. And Jordan Eberle has been that guy really for the last, like 2 or 3 games. He's been hot, which is good because he was pretty snake bitten at the start of the year. Yeah, it was, and a great atmosphere too after the hat trick. just it got loud. I will say that.
I'm sure. Yeah, you basically echoed what I've been talking about so far on here. Do want to ask you about the power play real quick because I know you referenced it at practice the other day. Some stuff did seem different. Looked like Dunn was on the first unit instead of Giordano. Liked seeing that. You noticed that Geeky was more involved the other day. That was definitely clear tonight. And we saw some more risky passing overall. Still not a lot of player movement though.
Right. And that's one thing I noticed, and I'm not fully ready to let them off the hook on the power play yet. They did have that one power play influence goal, and I liked the cross ice pass. And that's one of those things that Geeky opens up. And I saw pretty much that exact play a couple times in practice, when they're working on the power play. And Hackstall was even asked about the different looks that opens up having Geeky, on his offside. He kind of brushed it off and just talked about, the chemistry between Geeky and Schwartz. Schwartz being the one to make that pass across, and said they've shown chemistry, since the start of training camp. But I do think it opens up a lot there. But looking at the power plays, certainly after that, looked a little stagnant again. Not a ton of player movement. That's the kind of stuff I'd like to see them improve.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw it earlier, but Sergeant Pickles does say if you don't give me the press pass when I get up there, you and him, you're going at it. He's coming after you, man.
Oh yeah, gloves off, tarps off.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know if I could handle that. He's I don't know, the sergeant. I don't know. So I'll make sure to give you the press pass. I don't want to deal with that.
Smart move. Brian coming in fourth time tonight with the super chat. The Kraken were.
Thank you, Brian.
I know. The Kraken were 3-6-1 before the game. Their opponents played combined record was 51-37-5. That includes, of course, Montreal's 3-8. The flaws are well documented. I think taking this into account provides tempered reflection. Yeah, I mean, they've been playing some good teams. Obviously, we've referenced earlier running into hot goalies. Not just hot goalies. I mean, they are good goalies that the Kraken have had to face so far this year. But, I just think the longer the season goes on, the more comfortable everybody on the Kraken gets with each other. I just think everything's going to come together, and that kind of reversion to the mean of if you're taking this many shots, if you have this high of an expected goals rate, eventually you are going to score.
Yes, absolutely. And I think there's something to be said for that. And especially tonight against, a Sabres team where you look at, given the way it went initially, it's 2-2 or 2-1 Sabres even after a while, where a better team might just kind of bury you at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But they made Dustin Tokarski look very good for a while, but eventually he becomes Dustin Tokarski, and you can beat him, so he is beatable. He's no Shesterkin.
Yes, for sure. David's asking, kind of a preview for the Coyotes game. What's our opinion on the main reason why they're so bad this season?
I think it just comes down to the players on the team. I mean, this is a team that they've intentionally gone ahead and built for the future, and a part of that is sacrificing a lot of the players on the current roster that had any kind of value, bringing in players that other teams didn't want or didn't live up to their salary, and being paid draft picks to do that. And when you have a whole team based on that premise, not going to do the best in the standings. I don't know. Anything to add to that, Dylan?
I was going to say, what a long-winded way to just say that they're tanking.
Oh yeah, you know what? I could have just said that.
Yeah, they're bad because they wanted to be bad. Is the bottom line. Expect them to be worse after the trade deadline too.
Yeah, seriously.
Ethan, woohoo, big W. After watching the highlights, it looked like when most of our goals came, they were from really well done transitions from defense to offense and catching Buffalo off guard. Yeah, tons of breakaway chances, tons of odd man rushes in this one, RJ. Transition game looked really, really good.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that I kind of pointed out on Twitter was just after the puck is cleared, the Kraken give their opponents no time to get set, to get a change, to regroup. They're just straight back into the zone immediately afterward. And it creates situations where, when it happens over 2-3 shifts, where the same guys will get stuck out there for minutes at a time and can't effectively defend. And that's where you see this prolonged zone time. Eventually, the Kraken will start to get goals off of that, hopefully. But still, it's a great thing that they're doing, and something that even a lot of very good teams struggle to do effectively. But the Kraken just have it down.
Yeah, no, it's been good to see, especially after the beginning of the year that wasn't really the case. Kind of obvious, but got to point out the crowd really helps the Kraken. They've really delivered, especially with empty seats elsewhere in the league. That's from Striatic. I mean, you've been in the building. That's got to be true. It seems like it.
Absolutely. And the energy tonight was amazing. As soon as, like with the hat trick, that's the single loudest moment I've heard in the building. I've been in here, all 5 games. And yeah, and it's just kind of built every game. And I think it's something that we're going to continue to see. It's a loud building, just the way that it's structured. It's all like underground, and that really helps acoustically if the people are getting loud. And yeah, and you can tell it kind of spurs on the players. Yeah, it just provides so much energy.
Yeah, it always helps when you got a loud barn to play in. This is from Alex. Worth noting, Buffalo has been very stingy defensively thus far this season in terms of allowing chances. Kraken's speed proved to be a mismatch. Yeah, I mean, that just kind of builds off what we were talking about with their transition game. Buffalo really didn't, have any answer for it, it seemed like, at all. Let's see. Continuing, there were so many one-on-ones, multiple Kraken on less Sabre players. Really good stuff. Yeah. RJ, I mean, how did we not score on one of those 3 shorthanded breakaways?
Oh man, that's something to work on in practice. I'd think is just breakaway moves. You're gonna have a nice little deke there, some kind of set move. So it was funny. Haxtell was asked about, he said talk about your penalty kill and particularly like the offensive chances that they generated. And the first thing he's like, well, I'd like him to bury one. We'll start there.
Mm-hmm.
And he went on to praise the PK and, being aggressive and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, it's simple as you just got to put one of those in. I think the broadcast did pick it up, but on that first one, Brandon Tanev, slams his stick on the glass afterward, just frustrated he didn't bury that one. And, I just, again, gotta love Tanev. He just plays with so much emotion all the time. He was frustrated after not putting one of those in.
Yeah, for sure. Sergeant Pickles referring to the Eichel thing. He's got the over-under on years until Vegas rebuilds at 2.5. They can't sustain that salary cap without some Kucherov-level shenanigans.
I think they can. I went through this, and again, we'll talk more about it on the podcast and everything, but I went through, on Armchair GM, on Cap Friendly, excellent tool, by the way. And if they just get rid of Carrier, McNabb, and Dodonov, they're fine cap-wise. They actually don't have to give up, more than you think. And then Riley Smith's contract's up at the end of this year too. There's more space than it looks like.
Yeah, and people are always willing to take a bad
Let them
contract
out
off
of
their
it
hands.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been interesting to see that. Um, wow, what a great win! That's from Pablo. Buffalo looks like they have a fresh start and turned the page already. Now they are adding this rebuild maybe faster than some think. I think it will be, maybe. I don't know that they're going to continue the sustained success they had early in the year. Obviously, right, they're finishing this road trip, losing their last 3 games. But I think things are looking positive. Hurts not to have Eichel be a part of it, especially when I think that, was so much of not just the plan for the team, but very much in all of those fans' thoughts. But I think there are sunny days ahead for them.
Yeah, and one thing I liked about them and watching them in in the morning skate is just kind of how loose and how fun they keep things. Everyone, no one's getting too serious or too down. They know the situation they're in, and they're just trying to have the most fun that they can with it.
Yeah, and I will clarify, when I said sunny days, I did mean that metaphorically because it is Buffalo. Dude, just want to throw that one out there. Lindsay's in chat, just got back from the game. Let's go Kraken. Yeah, good game to go to, Lindsay. Hope you had a great time there.
Good choice.
All
yeah,
right.
By the way, I don't know if they can see it, but they're putting some of the panels on the ice. They're covering up the ice now.
Nice. Yeah, no, that is a sweet backdrop you've got there. You did a really good job with your green screen, RJ.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Thinking back, does McCann slot back in on the power play unit, and who would come off if he did?
The answer's got to be yes. I mean, to start with, just with that shot, you've got to put it somewhere on the power play. His normal spot is, let's see, Kiki's there on one unit. Who's there on the other unit? I'm blanking on it. Is it Yarncroak?
Well, it was kind of, yeah, it would have had to have been. So he's the obvious
Okay,
answer.
put him
Yeah.
in Yarncroak's spot. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how you deal with it.
Joshua heard the red glare on the broadcast, saw other media
Yes,
confused and not sure why.
yes. Okay, certainly this was more than any other game. The red glare showed up in the anthem for sure. I noticed it. The game was just about to start, so I didn't have the time to like go tweet about and everything. But yes, for sure, it's getting going now.
Yeah, I know Ryan Clark sent out a tweet about it. He was a little confused.
Oh man, I got to tell Ryan what's up. I'm surprised he didn't know about that.
Yeah. Al, congrats, Kraken. Things looking up. You're this year's Vegas. You don't need Eichel either. Lindsay confirming. Heard a lot of red glares from where they're sitting.
Yep.
Hey, are you like the media?
Yes.
Media knows
Just go that. Just go that way. There's like a bunch of doors. Sorry, helping some people find their way out of the building.
Don't worry about it. Sergeant Pickles also doesn't want you to worry, RJ. He's an overweight dad now and only 5'9", so my reach ain't the best. Your reach is better than yours, though.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure.
Lindsay, Arizona should be a W on Saturday, barring any catastrophic knock on wood. Yeah, like I said, you never want to walk in to any game expecting to win at the professional level, but things should hopefully go the right way. Orion, can you name the Coyotes goalies?
It's
They still.
okay. Do they still have Kojanaj?
I don't know. Do they still have Ranta?
No, they do not.
Okay.
Is Carter Hutton the other one? I think Carter Hutton might be the other one.
It might be.
I accidentally put Carter Hutton's name in the pregame in the morning brief this morning, thinking he was still the Sabres, but quickly changed it.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that would have been.
My bad.
Rough. Yeah, they got Hutton, They got Scott Wedgwood there now.
Oh, they just claimed him off waivers today.
Yeah, so that's what it looks like for right now. That is the ultimate current NHL trivia question, though, for sure.
Yeah, challenge me how closely I'm following things.
Yeah. Lindsay's saying that they did their part tonight. Voice is gonna be gone tomorrow. It means you had a really good game.
Yep. Good on you. Good on the whole crowd.
Yeah. And letting us know that Eberle thanked the fans for their energy in his post-game interview at the arena. So
cool. That's good. Yeah, because I was on the way down to the media room. I didn't catch that one. Also, I heard that he threw the fish really far.
Oh, okay. I mean,
for the
why not?
They throw the fish.
You're feeling it tonight. You got to.
He was asked about that, and he says that he and the family go to Pike Place Market a bunch, and so he's like seen a bunch of the fish, so he wanted to impress his kids.
That's definitely a good reason to do it.
Yep.
Brian, back in the super chat. Cheers to you, Brian. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
I know you said tomorrow is payday, but don't spend that check before it's there, man. But we do appreciate it. Your 3 stars, not named Eberle.
Okay. I will go 3rd star, Hayden Fleury. I thought he kind of had. I know he played that one goal against not ideally, but like for the whole rest of the game, I thought he was great. Jaden Schwartz, probably 2nd star for me. Assisted on a couple of Eberle goals, and he was active in the forecheck all game. All right, Dylan, give me the 3rd one, because I'm still thinking.
Yeah, I really like Schwartz tonight. I liked Alexiak for dropping the gloves and all that.
That was a good one.
Gord could be up there, and I think Yarncroak and Donskoy, they had an impact tonight. I know it didn't really show up in all aspects on the box score, but they played really good games tonight.
Donskoy even mixing it up with Colin Miller there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw that on the broadcast, but it was just going on for a couple shifts.
No, that was the other thing I noticed on the power play, though. It really seemed like on that unit, they wanted the power play to, they wanted him to be the trigger man from the center there. Like, they were kind of forcing passes to him sometimes.
Yeah, even when it was not there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like he'd have 3 guys draped on him, and they're passing him the puck. I'm just like, why? All right, let's see. Where was I? Sergeant Pickles asking if you can confirm if they have a player of the game pirate hat.
I cannot confirm that.
But can you
cannot
deny it?
confirm or deny. I cannot deny it
Okay.
either. So I cannot confirm or deny.
All
I
right.
will look into that further.
So there is hope that it is there.
Yeah,
Uh,
Schwartz was asked if they did anything special for the hat trick for Everly. I think I put it in the chat. No beer shower, but maybe
mhm.
we should have done that. He was just like, well, what special would we do? I don't know.
he, he did his job. What are you talking about?
Well, we were all happy for him.
Yeah, nice solid
Yeah.
handshake. That's what you get. Braun, I'm really starting to learn to love most of the roster. Donskoy, Geeky, Yanni, Rig, Geo, Tanev, Flurry, Dunn. All have some fun little things that are fun to notice and root for. Love having a team. It is great to have the team, and it is a fun team. There's lots of great personalities, lots of interesting like archetypes, we'll call them, for their play on the ice. It is a really really awesome team. I do think it is a team that Seattle deserves.
For sure. And that's what it's all about. Having a team, getting to know the players, the personalities, and that's what gets you attached, and
Hmm.
why you love the team so much.
Yeah. Um, let's see here. If only we could get the game real time down to slow motion and get some triple deeks on the breakaways like Charlie Conway and Gordon Bombay from the Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Ducks reference.
That
Yep.
that might help Tanev. He's struggled there a little bit this year, but the fact that he keeps getting them is just awesome.
Good sign. Good sign.
Yeah, maybe 8-2 if that happens, right? Yeah. And that is a great reference. Always love references to that movie. Sergeant Pickles' 3 stars was Alexiak, Schwartz, and Geeky. Those are good. Yeah, Geeky
Oh
deserves
yeah,
to be there.
Geeky. Yeah, especially like that goal was huge that he scored. The power play. I don't know how much you talked about it, but just things opening up, and still a great shot.
Yeah.
And that reminds me, Dylan, have you promoted the merch yet?
No, so I had it all planned in my mind that when I talked about the Geeky goal, I was going to say the Geeky Squad
There it
shirts
is.
up in the store.
Yes.
They're down in the description below. I forgot because we were all too busy pining after the new whiteboard. So
There it is. I did see the whiteboard come up. Great, glad it got there. Yeah, funny enough, the Geeky Squad shirts from our 2,000 follower giveaway arrived to like all the people today or yesterday, just in time for Geeky to get back goal scoring and perfect timing. But you can get your own. They look great. You see the pictures. We retweeted them on Twitter.
yeah, Brian's heading out. Want to say thanks again, Brian,
Thank you
for
so much,
everything you
Brian.
do. It's awesome to have you around. Have a good night. And then Sergeant Pickles back in the super chat. Hayden, when he realized it's Big Rig, I immediately regret this decision. I talked about it earlier, RJ. We talked about not wanting to be a defenseman, watching him kind of drive towards the net, and then certainly I don't know why anybody decides to drop the gloves with him.
I mean, especially he went right after him too. He was like a man on a mission coming to get him, and I think he had a little bit of buyer's remorse there. Once Alexiak dropped the gloves,
Mm-hmm.
was more than willing to go with him. I mean, it's one of those things that it certainly helps your team. That's a good trade for Buffalo to get both of those guys off the ice for 5 minutes. But man, that's a scary situation.
For sure. Lindsay confirming that the fish went like halfway up into the lower bowl. So that is awesome from Everly. Ethan's Tech World. I've been rocking my new Kraken hat, which looks so cool considering it my good luck hat. Decision on jersey still pending. I can respect that.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean it's you got too many good choices. It's rough when that's the case. Lindsay, power play still needs work. Got to keep their feet moving more and not just standing still, waiting for a pass. I'm hopeful, though, once McCann gets back. Yeah, I just think the fact that he'll shoot from different angles, he'll try things. He's just willing to shoot a lot. I just think the power play kind of misses that a little bit in his absence.
For sure.
And then Ethan's Tech World, what can I really say? Like the Mighty Duck films, no matter how cheesy they may be, they are great. They're classics. They're the best. I enjoy all of them, even the third one. It's got its issues, especially as a screenwriting major. It's got its issues, but I can watch it. And I thought the series they did on Disney Plus wasn't too bad either, as like a new reintroduction to things. Alex, the Gord jersey was the only choice for me. Yeah, I mean Gord's an excellent choice. You know that, RJ.
Yep, that's the one I ended up getting.
Yeah.
due to the fan vote, but man, I probably would have picked that on my own if given enough time.
Yeah, and then I think this is going to be the last comment of the night for us. Sergeant Pickles, referring back to the fight, Hayden closed up but still took 6 strong hooks to the ear hole. I mean, yeah, he took a beating in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, it's, what can you say?
It was just haymakers coming in. Alexiak took his helmet off. He was tired of punching that thing, and he kept going. You know, I will give Hayden credit for standing in tough through that, because
yep, and he's knows his way around a fight, for sure.
I was gonna say it's crazy that he looked so small in that fight, because he is not a small man.
No, he is not. Yeah. One thing real quick, who looked really big, and I know he's a big guy, but I saw him right next to Alexiak, and he looked every single bit as big as Alexiak, is Tage Thompson of the Sabres. Like, in every way, just looked like almost identical, just size-wise. Like, wow, he's a big guy.
Yeah, well, you still didn't see him coming out to defend his teammates' honor against him. All right, so yeah, I think that's gonna do it for us. Ethan, oh cool, you're a screenwriting major. I'll have to ask you more about that next time. Yeah, feel free, anytime. Maybe someday we'll do I'll do some breakdowns of hockey movies or something like that. So yeah, good night to everybody. Awesome win again, and we'll see you all after that Saturday game in Arizona. Should be fun. Hopefully we keep this thing going. You got a prediction on what goalie we'll see?
I think we'll see. I'll go Drieger. That's what I would do anyway.
That's what I was.
Hackstall hasn't always done what I would do, but that's what I would do.
That's what I was thinking too. It seems like a good spot for him. Thanks for everybody donated with the super chat. We really appreciate that. And
you guys are awesome.
Yeah, and we'll see you all next time.